Welcome back to Connect with Jonathan Mark. I just want to say, guys, thank you so much for sending emails about how much you enjoy this show. It's so overwhelming. It's so amazing just to see the response from you guys. I'm shocked. I'm, floored. Like, I don't even know the words to really say about this. But it would really, really mean a lot if you guys reviewed the show on iTunes. Just leave a 5-star review and, maybe write something nice about the show, because what it does, it will push the show up. And that would mean everything to me. But now I have to go into what this week's episode's about. And it's a little bit darker than, normal. Every week I bring on families that have these horrific stories of unsolved cases. And they are pretty dark, more so than not. But this week was a little bit different. I was connecting to someone's father that they have never met. So they were meeting their father for the first time really during this reading. And it was a kind of a dark experience of some of the stuff that I saw. And I tried my best to deliver it in a very soft way. But I just want to let you guys know that it is a little bit different than the past weeks, and I'm sure you guys are going to like it. And it's kind of amazing that this person reached out, and this was the first time that she was able to really communicate with her father. She never met him. So guys, again, I just want to say thank you to everyone that shares their stories with me and wants my help. And if you do want my help, I'm always here. So let's jump into the episode. I just want to say, for one, I'm sorry because it looks like your father's coming through. Who has the A, like the Andrew or Drew?
Andrew.
All right, so I'm going to explain a couple of things that I see because there's a lot of stuff that circulates around this case because it looks like it wasn't. So I've done a case before where someone thought it was a hit and run and it was actually a murder. And that's what I see. The only difference between this is when someone grabs their head and puts a gun in front of me, typically means they were shot in the head. Oh, wow. So this must be your grandma because he keeps talking about last conversations was with your grandma. Like it had to have been like he was either there that day, the day before, because it looks very close in proximity time. Now, the thing that I want to also bring up to you with this is, was he at like a bar restaurant the night that this happened?
Yes.
It looks like an adult club, if I'm...
Yes.
When someone opens the door back and forth to me, typically what that means is that this isn't the first time that they've been to this place or this establishment. It means like they've been there quite a few times, whether it's 1, twice, 3 times, whatever. It doesn't look like this was new. Now, the thing that I find interesting about this is he keeps putting his hand and drawing a map in front of me, basically saying where he was found was not really too far away from where this establishment was. It doesn't look like it was like a very long distance away from this. Now, also too, now this is the crazy part. At least I find it crazy. How long ago is this? Because this seems like pretty long and so long, or a long portion of it, so much so that there hasn't been like any leads because he's explaining to me leads about stuff. So that means there's been none. Like
1987.
Okay, yeah. So this has been, and I'm sorry, that's been quite some time, and I'm so sorry. I always look for it to see if there was like a robbery or something like that. Doesn't really look like that because he keeps tapping his stuff saying everything was like on him. When people go to certain clubs, sometimes they talk to people and they don't even realize that maybe someone's significant other is there or whatever it is. So for example, if someone's jealous that your dad is talking to someone that works there, has going there, that I see honestly like the person who was in the establishment. Doesn't look like it doesn't look like it was random, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't look like he was just picked out of the street and this happened. Now, another thing they keep showing to me too, which again, I don't know if this is being literal or not, that's been passed down from detective to detective to detective. Like this looks like this case is relatively still open to some extent. Because if it's being passed out, it means they're still looking.
Yeah.
What it also is showing to me too is I sometimes think people don't talk when they're scared, or they don't talk when they're being questioned is the best way I'll put it. Like if someone's being interrogated, questioned, or whatever, I've learned from working with law enforcement and doing this that sometimes people don't talk when they actually know something. And there's been quite a few people that were in that establishment that are claiming they don't know something but do. Now, if I say names and stuff, do you know people that work there?
No, I don't.
Okay. Because there's a couple of people that I'm seeing, like, you can do what you want with this, honestly. If you do have a detective that's on the...
Yes, there is a detective on it.
Okay, good. Okay. When someone points at me, and it's not me, obviously, but when someone points at me, it's typically like a John or Joe, a J-O name that's there. And typically when they do that to me, it means either that person knows something or is involved in it. It's one of the two, whether they know something or something's involved. Now, the next thing too is it's a woman with an S name as well. Whether her name is actually an S or she has a nickname, that's an S when she's there. Because I know they don't go by their like names. Like they have stage names and stuff.
Yes.
I need you to really like look into that. Again, the thing that's interesting to me about, I guess, your father is how calm he is and how like non-confrontational he's coming through at all. Like he doesn't look like someone who's quite confrontational or that would start a fight, I guess, or like start something to piss someone off, if that makes sense. Like he seems very calm, I guess, or just very calm, cool, collective is how he's coming through, but also just he's not being like aggressive. Like typically when someone comes through and they're showing that they started a fight, they show that they were aggressive at like a certain point of the night. He doesn't really come through like that at all. And also he's joking at this, but I don't know if this is like literal. He keeps saying he was like a mama's boy too. Like he keeps saying to me that like, why would a mama's boy do this? Kind of like not in like making fun of him in any way. He's saying to me that it was the wrong place, wrong time with the wrong people is what he's saying. Even though, and again, I have to be honest, even though it looks like he's been there quite a few times because he's, again, when someone opens the door and they keep walking through, it just shows to me that they've been there a few times. It does look like he pissed. I don't even think he knew that he pissed someone off. That's the problem. I think now what he's seeing is hindsight's 2020, but it looks like now he can see that he bothered someone. Like it's kind of, again, the only thing I can really compare it to is that if he started getting close to someone, whether someone felt threatened or not by that, like the closeness of just like being irregular or going there to the same person. But what's interesting too is he keeps saluting me. And when someone salutes me, it means whether they wanted a job or they were in law enforcement. It's one of the two, whether he wanted to do it or he was actually law enforcement. And what he's also saying, and he's smiling at this, he keeps saying to me, I'm guilty of this, so I'm going to put myself in there. I walk everywhere. Like I literally walk everywhere. I love to walk. I always try to get my 10,000 steps in. Everyone don't judge me. But he keeps putting his feet there saying that it looks like where he is from or where he was from, he was known to like be the guy that walks everywhere instead of just like taking a car or doing whatever. But again, I want to go back to where he was found because he keeps saying it was less than a football field away or a football field. It doesn't seem like, again, it was really that far. And also, I'm a little confused by this. And this is like later on, I want you to kind of fill us in about, some stuff. But again, he keeps saying it appeared like it was a hit and run, but he keeps grabbing his head and putting a gun in front of me means someone did this. Also, I want to go back to this for a second. I think sometimes when people see a murder, they assume that there was a robbery that kind of took place or there was a potential of that. It doesn't look like that, like I said. Oh, who's the P name? Like Patty, Paul, the P name. This is stuff you can ask the detective, obviously, because these people were there and like know what happened. Do I think they participated in the act? Maybe not. But I think if they can shed light onto some things, because it looks like from where I'm sitting looking at your father, there really hasn't been too much movement in this, like at all. And again, it seems like there's been passed down from detective to detective or just case file from case file and stuff. Now also, who's the MA name? Like Mary, Maria, who's the MA name?
I'm Maria, but I also have a brother named Maurice that's passed.
Yeah, I know your name is that would make my life a little too easy because I could read that. That makes my life a little too easy. Yeah, because he keeps saying he's reunited with him. And he keeps saying to me that, can I ask you something? Are you from like a small town, small area town? Where are you from?
Originally from Rochester, New York.
Oh, you're from Rochester. Okay.
Yes.
Is that where this happened, in Rochester?
Yes. Yes.
Because what he's showing to me, I just want to tell you also, it's part of like, he keeps saying it's the people that are there. So I don't know if he was around people that did drugs and things like that. It seems like it's a heavily like crime area, it seems, to a certain extent. Because again, there's like twofold to it. It does look like he bothered someone unintentionally, like he didn't know. But it also looks like the people there weren't great people at the same time. Obviously, what happened. But it doesn't, again, I think the biggest thing that I always look for is like two sides to the story. Like, did he do something, then someone reacted or whatever? It really doesn't look, he looks like such a calm guy. That's just what he looks like to me. He looks like a good, calm guy, a little bit of a family man or very much a family man to me. Again, I'm saying this because it's, you know, it's nice. He was a mama's boy. It really looks like he literally saw his mom maybe a couple days before or the day before or something. Like it looks like that close proximity of time. But also, I want you to go back when you speak to the detective, whenever that is, and tell him those names because I do think it's really crucially important that he kind of revisits those people. It's the J name because he keeps underlining and pointing at me. And again, it's not me. It's just he's showing me as the J-O name. So I want to clarify that, obviously. But it's also the S name that I think is like somewhat important. It seems like whether it's a nickname or stage name to some extent, just because I think this is going to lead you to the following step. Do I think this is going to solve it? I think it's going to lead you to solving it or leading you to get answers. I don't think it's the person who did it. And again, the honest truth is the person who did it seems like they either worked there or work there, like still. But it kind of looks like past tense to me, if I'm being honest, because if your dad's pointing back, it just looks like the person definitely worked there, like, or was there pretty much every day because I'm assuming maybe one, like I said, he worked, or two, someone that he was dating was there. I would love for you to share with everyone, because people probably don't want to hear me talk anymore, why you reached out and what's the story? Like, what happened? So, and I do want to preface this too. The people that listen are like detectives. I'm telling you, like, they take the stuff that I say.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's crazy. Like, I'll say something and maybe the person doesn't know, but then they backtrack and they're like, this is what this is. Then all of a sudden there's an arrest and then, or there's this. And I'm like, holy crap. I'm like,
yes, the internet works very fast.
The internet works too fast. So I would love to hear what you have to say, and I would love to hear the story and anything else.
Well, I mean, it's kind of funny because honestly, I never met my father.
Okay.
I looked for my father for a very long time, and 5 years ago, somebody finally responded to me on Ancestry. That's when I got in contact with his family and came to learn that he was taken from us a long time ago. So, but it's funny because everything that you said are things that I've learned about him. He was a very quiet, calm person. After listening to like the detectives and stuff, it was a place that he did frequent often. They said that they knew him for going there, but they didn't know him because he didn't talk to nobody. So And they did say he was found right outside. And initially, the people that found him came out the bar after him. And they assumed he was hit by a car because he was in the middle of the street. And they didn't realize until once he was in the ambulance that he was shot in the head.
Oh.
And that's pretty much all they know.
Okay, because I think the part that confused me, I will say, is the hit and run to being shot when he was showing to me. And also, and again, this is just what he was just sharing with me, was a lot of where he was from or if he was frequent there. It just seems like the area that he was living in at the time was not great in the crime side of things.
Yeah, it's still not known to be the best area.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm not. I know Rochester. I'm from New York, but I never, obviously lived there or been there. But it just what he keeps basically showing to me is, again, it's like unintentionally bothering someone. It's like unintentional, not even realize that he's bothering someone, and also too, like going back to like a couple other things is. Really, the like biggest thing that I find a little, because he's showing me like the P name and things like that, and when they do that, those are like pretty big parts. Now he keeps saying are you one of 4?
No, one of 5. Once I found my family, he had 4 children after me.
Okay. He's just saying he has like almost a handful. So I assumed almost like, I was like 4 maybe. He keeps saying he only had like 1 or 2 close friends. Like something like very minimum. Like doesn't look like he had like a large.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well.
It doesn't look like he had like a large group of friends where like people are known to go out to places and stuff with like a larger group. And yeah, like you were saying, he kept to himself. He was just showing me he was just more of like an introvert is the best way I can explain
and
it.
Did. He walked everywhere because he had a seizure disorder.
Oh.
So he couldn't have a license. So he did walk everywhere as well.
Okay, because I was like, maybe he just wanted to be physically fit. Not really sure. I'm like, that could be it. I was like, I feel like in 1987, I'm like, I know for a fact that they had cars. I'm like,
oh yeah,
and public transportation too. So I was like, what's he doing? Maybe he's really into fitness. I'm like, I have no idea. But he is like, I do want to say like and I know I already said this, but you really got to look for the P name. Where there's the Paul, Patty, something with the P name too. He is constantly underlining that on top of the other 2 that I was sharing with you. And I wanted to ask you this because I don't know if this is part of the case or someone in your family. Who's the William or Bill?
That I don't know.
Can you look back? And the reason why I'm saying this is because he's also sharing with me too. I mean, this is kind of crazy. I mean, it's long ago, but not like crazy long ago, if that makes sense. There's detectives that were on this case when he's showing me. So he's basically showing to me, like, yes, like I mentioned, it's been passed down from detective to detective, but he's showing me people have passed away from not working on the case, but just the time from where we are, I'm assuming now to like when it happened. So I'm curious if there's other detectives that were working on it with the name William or something or Bill, because he keeps saying there's a lot. It's kind of like when there's broken pieces of evidence kind of like scattered to make one cohesive picture. That's kind of what I see. I also see too, because he is, and again, this is kind of what I mentioned before, where he was from, there's a lot of crime at the same time. So he unfortunately was one of a lot. It's just that his was pretty horrible, if that makes sense, comparatively to other things. Because what he's showing to me is a lot of drugs. And I know like drugs is everywhere in the United States, unfortunately. But he keeps saying to me like where he was from was known like a frequent like drug place. And he keeps saying that that's like in addition to like his case. Like I believe from what he's showing to me that his murder is going to open up other things. Like his murder is going to open up other things of like maybe drugs, things like that. And I've used this term before and I kind of said to you before, but it could literally mean this or it could just be a reference that he's putting with me, but it's really like wrong place, wrong time sometimes. Like it really sometimes could be like as simple as that. Because again, I just want to clarify this to everyone. And I know I sound like a broken record with this. It does not look like a robbery. So I don't want people to look and kind of investigate if it was a robbery, because he keeps tapping his pockets saying
no, they did say in the police report that he had everything on him.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I just want people to know, because he's tapping his pockets and saying that it's full. So I'm like, I don't want people to go and like search for like a robbery because that doesn't look like the motive to me, like slightly. It literally looks like a little bit of bothering someone and a little bit of, it's like bothering something and also something very similar to like a hate crime, if that makes sense. Like, because it seems, and I know Rochester's obviously upstate. I went to college upstate and stuff, but I know that and I'm not saying it's farmland, so I don't want to like preface that, but it's definitely different than like towards the city.
Oh, absolutely.
And for people that don't know that, it really is. It's like kind of a different like landscape than if you come closer. Even if you're outside of the city, it's very different still. And he keeps saying to me, it's wrong place, wrong time. So there's a lot like, and bothering someone unintentionally. So I'm kind of putting the pieces together, like as he's trying to explain to me piece by things. And that's kind of, and he's not correcting me, which means like I'm on kind of the right path with it. So I am kind of hoping that someone here that's listening is going to be like, I'm taking this information and I'm going to Google the shit out of stuff and I'm going to look for everything, because my goal is always to help people and I want to help you and help your family. And I really want to give you answers on top of the stuff that I kind of saw and stuff. I want the detective to do something. And I'm hoping, like I said, you can just give him a call and we can kind of like go from there with this and see what happens. But is there any other information you want people to know before, we finish?
I mean, honestly, you kind of hit the nail on the head on everything. I don't really know much, seeing how I'm kind of new into this myself. Yep. So it's like, but I mean, you pretty much covered mostly about what I do know. Okay, good. So anyone that's listening, please help out. And I'm sure you have the detective's name and stuff, and we'll put it in the show notes so people can, if they find something, they can reach out to the detective directly to help you and your family out. But I just want to say thank you so much for trusting me to do this. I really appreciate it. Let's try to get this like moving for you. I just want to say again, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Ooh, wow. This one was a little heavy, and I just want to say thank you again to Maria for coming on. But, when I do these and I do readings, a lot of the times I pick up on the feelings of the person, and I really have to say that this one was a way heavier one than I anticipated. But with that being said, I am hopeful and thankful that you guys are so great at listening and investigating. So I'm really hopeful that you guys can help her out to learn more about her father, but also to give her some type of answers. But with that being said, if you guys have any cases you want me to talk about or you're affected by them, please email connectjonathanmark@gmail.com or send a DM on my Instagram @JonathanMarkMedium. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.